Hey everyone, it's Michael and
Alex
and from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, bringing you
Friday, as Victoria would say.
Yeah, and I don't feel like we've kind of, like some weeks we come in here and we stagger into the room and it's like, this week I kind of feel like we've not cruised into Friday afternoon, but we've
made it. We've made it. No, you know what? It feels like we've made it with ease. Yeah.
Like it's not been a stressful one. No major dramas.
Life's
Life's
good.
good.
Hang on. This is what I'm going to tell you what I tell Mark every Saturday morning. Don't say it out loud.
I was going to say, we haven't been shut down by the ATO or Austrac after our compliance stream last week, so that is a good start to kick things off.
Oh, look, I don't think I'm hoping we didn't do anything to actually upset the locals.
No news is good news, I think.
Yeah, I think we were respectful. I haven't actually looked, and I meant to look before we came on live stream. Was there a spike in viewing of the live stream, kind of
Post
Monday
stream?
10 o'clock sort of thing?
Oh, right. Yeah.
When all the civil servants return to work and Austrac turn the lights on.
10.
Oh, I've got to get coffee first. And
No, I'm thinking that early. Sorry.
there's a few blokes start early down there, I'm sure. Yeah, so I don't know. It'll be. I don't think we stepped sideways. If we did, then I apologise up front. But I think we kept it fairly respectful and we didn't lurch around too much. Again, same as last week. If I start coughing and spluttering, I'm not contagious. I don't have COVID or anything like that. I've just got asthma.
It's okay. I can't catch it twice.
Yeah, that's right. So I apologise for it right from the start.
As he says, he's not used to us starting on time. That is the us actually, as we just said, feeling a little bit more cruisy and waltzing into this week's stream.
Well, this is what I joke about usual within the studio every week, every Friday. It's like our usual now is like 2:33. That's our the 3 minutes late is actually our normal regular usual kickoff point. So yeah, sorry to throw you off by starting on time.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I need to say I got cornered this week.
Uh-oh.
Not in a bad way. Not really in a bad way. There was a lovely couple who were at the front of the shop and they were looking at the QR code we've got out the front. So, though I noticed we didn't use the QR code on Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, there's been a couple of times this week where I think it's been slow enough moving. There's at least been one staff member kind of available to take someone if they just come straight through. So
yeah,
it hasn't been used every single day. There was one time this week I saw a customer come through, and I think Oscar said, "Just scan the QR code on the door," and they went, "Where?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, I don't think we put it up. Just come on through."
That's right. But we had the QR code up. It might have even been the week before. We had the QR code up, and the couple were a little put out that they had to scan in. And they're saying, this isn't fair. We don't carry mobile phones, and I guess I just want to put out there that you don't actually have to scan in. It's not a legal requirement. It's not a compulsory requirement.
It's not a policy.
Yeah, it's not. It's purely there just so we can. It makes it easier for us and for yourselves to organise a queue, because when we don't have these types of things, particularly when it's really busy, people can get a little bit hot under the collar because they think, oh, hang on, they've only just arrived and they're getting in ahead of me and all this sort of stuff. Whereas when we can keep this queuing system in, kind of keeps everyone above board and everyone knows everyone's kind of coming in one after the other. But you don't actually have to QR code in. If you don't want to use the QR code, you absolutely don't have to. Just push the bell at the door. We'll let you in through the airlock. If somebody says, have you scanned the QR code, you just say, look, I don't want to scan the code. Yeah, that's fine. No worries. Come on through the door. And then we'll grab a name, and you can use any name. It just needs to be an identifier. And like I tell people, it's not uncommon for us to have 2 or 3 Elvis Presleys in a day. So you can use whatever name you like. We don't care. There's no record of it. It's just so long as when we go, Elvis Presley.
And
But
then the
we're
three
talking to
don't.
you. Yeah, that's right.
I had to do once. Will the real Elvis Presley please stand up? Yeah, but
I like Marco. You know,
That's right. Yeah. But as long as you recognise the name you've put down or the identifier, you could use a number. You can use you could go Prince and use a symbol, I suppose. But yeah, you know.
The thing, and I don't know, like I want to share why we started with that. And for many of you would know, some would not, but it came off the end of a 14-hour shift for me on a Saturday.
Which is meant to be a 4-hour shift.
I came in, okay, so, but it's meant to be, 4. So we opened the doors at 9. I got in a bit earlier that day, but we opened the doors at 9. And we close at 1 o'clock on the Saturday. This Saturday, the last customer was with myself at 9:35 p.m. is when they walked out the.
Yeah,
that's right, 9:30. So 21:35 when they walked out. We got there. We got out. We locked the door at 10:04. I remember it clearly. And there were 6 to 8 hour queues to get into the shop that day. It was bedlam. It was I believe at the start
I was overseas.
Yeah, February. I think it was very early February, which Michael was very lucky to miss.
Yeah, do you remember Michael's videos saying, "Oh yeah, you know, sitting on a snowy rooftop somewhere, saying, yeah, it's a bit crazy, you know, in the shop, the guys are struggling a bit, but
the guys were struggling a bit.
Yeah. They're loving it. They're absolutely loving it.
And the thing is, you're waiting in queue, like a queue like that. You don't leave the queue if you're by yourself. Those 6 hours, like, see you later, right? You can't go to the toilet, you can't go get a drink for a break or anything like that. So we got this in, so you don't have to download anything, you don't have to register with anything. You just put in your, say, first name or a nickname, or even just put buying or selling, and you'll just get given a number that you're in queue, and it tells you how many people are ahead of you. So you can go to the toilet, you can go to get a coffee or a break, or just walk around if it's an extended wait period. And that's the whole point of having that.
The wait numbers can be a little bit hit and miss, because the problem is sometimes someone will come up and say, I'm looking to sell back jewelry, and we go, well, hang on, actually, sorry, we can't help with that. You know, go to here. And then we go through quite a few numbers quite quickly.
Yeah, very quick.
Or, hey, I'm here to set up an SMSF and inquire about some little coin shop products and some unallocated products, and this is my first time.
I'll bring the recliner, just 1 second.
Isn't it funny, though? We can have 5 or 6 people serving in the front counter.
Yeah.
This is just shop chat here that you're joining in for. You can have 5 or 6 people all serving at the counter, and either all 5 or 6 of us will have, you know, relatively quick customers, and we're churning through them, and then someone will get like a new customer with an SMS and all this sort of stuff, and very rapidly, all 5 of us will get long customers, and we've gone from churning through, you know, a customer every 2 or 3 minutes to. And the whole system just locks up all at once.
I'm here with a buyback suite. They take out like 2 kilos of silver, and you're like, okay. And then a bag of like world gold coins, and you have to work out every coin and weigh it, and and that can take you back. So. And then there's 2 out, and it just gets worse from there.
So it always cracks me up. So you don't need a number. Correction, you don't need a name on there. You put whatever you like. It doesn't matter. The number you need is actually, it's good to have both numbers. It'll give you 2 numbers. One is your position in the queue. I'm first in the queue. I'm third in the queue. I'm 15th in the queue. But it will also give you a ticket number. And it's a good idea to remember that ticket number because that doesn't change.
No, that's the one we call out.
Yeah.
Lucky 13 is 13, not, your first in queue doesn't mean you're number 1. You could be 15, but you'll be next in queue, so that changes.
That's right. So it just, apparently we've got a bit of an echo happening there, Rubes.
Don't know what's changed.
Not me.
Yeah, so, don't get stressed out about it. Just roll on in. It's, as normal. We're just trying to make it easier for everyone. But if that doesn't suit you, no big deal. We can just put you in manually. We'll give you a random name and number.
Yeah.
And away you go from there. All right, what else have we got, Rubes? I've kind of dominated it with shop talk instead of what we should be doing.
Well, I've just noticed from Jamie, our man in Japan, he says Happy Friday. He's just put me onto the fact that in
It's
Japanese,
Thursday over there. Oh.
no, in Japanese, Kinyobi, which means Friday, is literally translates to Gold Day or Metal Day.
Oh.
So that totally the reason why we kick this off on a Friday and why we sponsor Fridays.
That's right.
It's every week it's Gold Day.
Yeah, there was a lot of planning put into that.
So yeah, very cool fun fact there. Thank you very much.
It's absolutely so Aussie Geek. It absolutely is private. It's there's no record kept. It is deleted. Like the whole thing is deleted either that night or the following morning. So even if somebody came in and said, "Look, I want to know, if Elvis Presley came in yesterday."
No, sorry, Elvis has left the building.
That's right. Like there is no record of it. Which I don't, but even if I wanted to look for it, I couldn't. But yeah, no, all good. All right. Other than it being Gold Day, which is very important, what else have we got there, Rubes? What other questions?
We've got the fact that because of that quietness that we're talking about, we are marching ever closer to Pakenham being open. I don't know. Are we getting close enough to actually put a date that we're saying it's open, Michael? Can I press you for that this week?
No, press us next week. Thank you.
Do you know something, Alex?
Yeah, does Alex know something? Michael does it.
Finger on a pulse. A finger on a pulse.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't say we're opening next week. I said ask us next week.
Yeah.
For next week.
Look, we are very, very much closer. Alex is right, because Alex and I have had some fairly intense conversations this week about Pakenham and the logistics of it. So things have come together and it is very close. We're also, I might be stealing Ruben's thunder a little bit here, but the new studio. I couldn't think of the word.
I'm thinking that I got that ad. It's Studio Land from L'Oreal. Sorry.
So the studio has been finished all but, well, now let me walk that back a little bit. The room itself has been finished. The carpet gets laid on Tuesday. So with the soundproofing underlay. And then, because I said to Rubes, this will be our last live stream here. We'll be able to move everything down there and do live stream down there next week. And he's going, hold fire. I want to buy some lights. I want to do a new background. I got to fit the coffee machine. All this sort of stuff needs to be fitted to the new studio apparently. So
you know me and my coffee.
That's right. So Ruben's going to hold us up a little bit after next week. But yeah, within a few weeks we should have the new studio down there, and we should be coming live from down there as well. So fun and games, things are happening. And we should have some. We'll have some hard, quiet dates, soft opening dates probably next week, and it will happen fairly quickly. Finally. Finally!
One of the things on the desk is something I promised earlier this week in a video Alex and I did. We took a look at some of the copper products from Germania that had come through, some 5 and 10 ounce bars, and one of the
I thought it was gold.
one of the Bullion
It's a
Now,
new gold. There you go, Michael. Copper is the new gold.
Yeah, I'll sell it to you really cheap, mate.
That's right. Excellent.
One of the Bullion Now employees said, "Hey, I've actually got a bar." Alex and I were talking about how cool it would be if potentially it was left out of the plastic to kind of tone up, maybe turn that green, see what happened to it. And Alex said, "Hey, one of the Bullion Now employees has actually had that happen, done that to one of his bars." And I couldn't get a photo of it in time for the video, but I got him to send it down. And so I thought it'd be cool to take a look at the copper toning and what it can do.
Before and after.
No, it's actually the other way around. The one on the left is the one that's been taken out of the package versus the one that's been left in it. But I thought it was an interesting effect. Alex, you likened it to a bit of a camo kind of
desert
pattern.
camo pattern.
Yeah, I can
military
see
pattern. And since I saw that, I loved it.
Yeah.
And so did he. Yeah.
Looks like a little Japanese character on the left there, next to the serial number.
Yeah. I can see like a little teddy bear. I think it's like a bit of the cloud thing,
Yeah, that's right.
See what you want.
I'll tell you what I see later.
Yeah, great.
I'll tell you what I see later.
I want to see some green in it. You know,
That's what
like the
I'm hoping
copper can
for.
get that greeny tone to it.
I thought
That's what I was expecting.
No, that one just is a really, really cool look. I love that one. And that's what, yeah. And the only actual camo one I have is a germanium in product from 2020. And it's they did that series I mentioned previously of Army camo uniforms. And that's incredible.
Yeah. It's what I love about these things, it's one of the things I love about silver as well, is when they start toning, they change. So, because I'm not the guy that goes every weekend to look at, you know, just pull the stack out of the safe and look at each individual piece in it.
I can do that for you if you want.
So I probably, like, there's pieces that I probably see once or twice a year. So every time I pull them out, it's like, oh, wow, look how that toning's changed.
Completely
When they get
different bar.
yeah, well, that's it. When they get to this sort of stage, every 6 or 12 months that you look at them, you've got a completely different, you know, the greens will start appearing in this case. And, you know, like that darker colouring or the lighter colouring might have spread more, or the shape will have changed, or, you know, these types of things. It's I love it when they start really getting into the tone.
And in the great photo that Ruben took, it's very crisp in there, but I think it actually looks even better in real life. There's this different quality to it. Different hue that comes out. I think it's great.
We've got a coin on the back shelf there that someone sent through to us a few years ago of a maple with a hole shot through it, and that is one that has very naturally toned over time. And I suspect because of the impurities of the metal that struck it and then spread over it, it's kind of corroded a little bit. And I've got the photos from when we originally got it, and I should take some comparison ones now. And we'll have that.
The corroded virus. How's that?
The what?
Corroded virus.
Yeah, hold fire because I'll get some better photos of it. It won't do it justice. But yeah, very, very cool to see that, as Michael mentioned, that kind of progression over time.
Can I hit on a couple on here?
Go for it.
So Primal Metal, that's actually one of the reasons why I would like to see it open fast, is so we can start talking about interstate. But I don't dare mention the word interstate around here because Ruben will smack me. And Rob and Kat, thanks for the big shout out for the packaging team. They do an amazing job down there. So, yeah, I thoroughly echo what you've said there.
I noticed there was a few you skipped over there, Michael, asking about the kids club.
I never saw any along like that.
Oh, actually, in Michael's defense, I actually did not see any. There is one I want to touch on, Corey. What is Alex's next buy? Now, this is interesting because I didn't actually buy this technically. I picked up a 2.5 gold pesos. No, because we have this.
He didn't buy it. I actually bought it.
Yeah, from my Budex that I buy every Friday. And in Michael's paying cash now. After a while, I just said let's I'll just put in credit and I'll just pick something up. So I saved something from the melt, and it was a 2.5 gold Mexican pesos. So I don't know what that will do to the market because does it count as a purchase? Does it not? I'm curious to see Monday morning, right when the markets reopen, if that'll cause a big fluctuation. So keep an eye out.
I had to laugh though. It comes to me yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, it was Wednesday. Wasn't it? Wednesday, and because he starts getting ready for the Friday. I can never pronounce it.
The Serbian tacos.
Serbian tacos. That's right, for the Serbian tacos. And he says, starts getting ready for it. And he goes, "Oh, you're having 3 meat ones this week."
Yeah.
I went, 3?
What happened to 1 or 2 at the most?
That's right. He goes, no, I need you to have 3 so I can get this coin.
Because I already worked out the price and the next goal is 3. I'm not waiting another week. I've waited all year for this. So yeah, we'll see what that does markets wise.
Yes. So,
but what the other thing that and I just brought it now because it's been going for a few weeks. A few people have been asking me, even on the weekend they've asked me as well. What did I purchase from LCS? Right? Now, this was already a few weeks ago. Yeah, that was a month ago, but I didn't want to cover it on the last stream. So people were still asking me in the meantime. So I think Ruben did, for those that watched the LCS video, this is basically what I picked up, which is, I love this. I'm such a sucker for these posters.
This is what crashed the market at the end of January, buying this.
Yeah, just this is a Dungeons and Dragons Monster Manual cover, but it's 1
1
ounce
of silver.
Silver, yeah.
A very thin ounce.
Very thin coloured ounce. And I thought that was great. I couldn't go past it. It was one of the lot. I had to pick it up. So now you know, and you can stop asking me. And it's not one person, it's quite a few. So, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
But that's a beautiful... I don't suppose you've got it there, have you, Rubes? Got footage of it?
No. I've got the video originally and I can chase it up, but... actually, no, I don't even think I got it because I knew that Alex was going to be grabbing it, and I went, probably not worth, setting aside a little bit of time to actually get some nice shots when it's just going to disappear.
Yeah. Look, those things... There's a good chance to have an argument about this one because there's always that classic, how much did you, I'm not asking you how much, this is not a question I want you to answer. That how much did you pay for it? Are you kidding me? Like it's only an ounce of silver.
More than an ounce of silver.
Yeah. I just buy best bang for the buck sort of thing.
But cheaper than if I laid out all those ounces to the circumference of that post.
Yeah, good on you. But it's, like the pleasure that Alex has had out of it, the cleverness of the design, the art of it all. And then on top of that, they have actually already started appreciating in value.
Yeah.
So if you went to sell that today, you would at least get what you paid for it back.
Yeah.
Probably plus a little bit more. But that's not the reason you bought it.
Yeah. No.
So
it's for that. It's for that enjoyment factor. And personally, like this is going to
the other side as well, mate.
This is going to get a lot of use because I got this as I'm taking my daughter and a few of her friends. I wanted to get away from electronics. So I go back to the old school D&D, and I've got all the D&D books. I'm always on a search for more old school modules, and then this came up, and I thought this will be a nice design. It's impact. It's beautiful. It'll get their imaginations going, And I thought, why not? I stack a lot in tubes, but it's nice to enjoy something that you partake in.
Yeah,
that's seen, not just hidden away.
Yeah. So they're it's a talking point. It's it's something that you enjoy. It's a good investment, and it's different. It's the way to enjoy your investments. The way to enjoy your storage of your future funds. Yep. So don't ever underplay these things. And it's not, we sell them. We've got a company called Little Coin Shop that sells this type of stuff. Absolutely, there's a vested interest into why I'm saying this, but I firmly believe it, and you can see it in my collection and the stuff that I have. I quite frequently pay more. Actually, probably more embarrassingly, I pay more for mouldy old beaten up bars than they're ever going to be worth, because I love the look of them. It's this type of thing. Don't ever underplay the pleasure that you can get out of some of these things, as well as having them as part of your stack and part of that investment.
To play the other side of that argument, Alex and I did also shoot a video this week that should be going up over the weekend, highlighting some of the lower premium options, because we have been leaning a little bit more to some of the fractional, the semi-numismatic, those kind of products lately. Kind of want to balance it out just a little bit to play both sides of the argument, because there is arguments to be made on both ends of that spectrum. And as you've said many times before, what ends up happening is typically most people will lean one way or the other, but then every now and then just duck over to the other side for that one really cool thing that they really like.
Look, I think there's a place for both extremes and everything in the middle. So people say to me, you should only get this, or you should only get, either one side, you should only get coins, you should only get numismatic stuff, or you should only get these cheap bars. And I go, but why not have the best of both worlds? Why not stack? Yeah, okay, everyone's got limited funds, and I'm not saying you can throw, gazillions of dollars at this sort of stuff, but you can pick up some numismatic stuff that's not that expensive. You can pick up bulk stuff that's not that mouldy. Some of the bulk cheapy stuff actually looks really, really good. And to me, it doesn't need to look new and shiny like that does. Some of the really, really good cheap stuff actually looks good because it's got pour lines on it, it's got faults in it, it's got a story behind it, all these types of things. So why not have the best of both worlds? Have some stack that you don't care about. And Matt was a big fan of this. So Matt over at Thompson Coins, thank you. Having a seniors moment, who used to work with us, who used to work for us, sorry. We see Matt regularly. you know, he was a big one of you've got to have some that you just flog off because there's some that you become more attached to than your kids and you're never going to sell them. So you've got to have some of that stuff that when you
admit too much.
there's some that you've just got to get, you know, you've got to be in a position because when you need the cash, you've got to be able to sell them without crying. So there is a place, there is absolutely a place for that, but there is also a place for this sort of stuff and everything in between. So don't get caught in the argument of, you know, one side or the other. Say I want the best of both worlds. I can have both. This is one of those times where you can choose the whole smorgasbord.
I totally understand and respect Matt's decision and the way he goes about doing that. I just don't understand how we can do that because why have all these extras when I can have all that I love? You know what I mean? But it does come back. It's a double-edged sword. It does come back to me. It's stung me many times. You know, It's cut through me when I had to sell, and it's like, I got rid of those, but now it's like, it's like we always talk about. Well, you can swap it out. Well, I can't swap it. I have to break a collection to swap something out for. So
my youngest son's just learning about this because he bought himself. Year of the Tiger. When was that?
22.
22. Yeah, you're right. So Year of the Tiger. And Sam, my youngest, is
unfortunately not the Richmond Tigers.
Bringing this back up, I'm still waiting for an answer from.
Well, I'm actually half explaining.
Okay, good.
An answer to it. So he bought. He's into tigers, so he bought these coins with tigers, and he's saying. When he's buying them, he's going, they're only this much, they're only that much. And I stopped him at one point and I said, mate, with some of these, because he really liked them, I said, you need to not say it's only this much, it's only that much, because it doesn't matter what you're going to spend on this, you're not going to sell it. Like, this is an expense, this is not an investment so much because, yes, it's worth X amount and yes, it'll get bigger in value, but you've got to remember it almost doesn't matter what it costs you. It almost doesn't matter what it's going to be worth because it's going to be like severing a limb for you to sell it. And sure enough, this kilo coin that Ruben's referring to that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that Sam might be selling, he's got this coloured tiger and it's in immaculate condition. He's looked after it, you know, and he loves this coin. He wants to sell it because it's worth far more than what he paid for it. Because I mean, even on silver alone, compared to price in 22 compared to now, you know, it's changed quite a bit. So he's got this kilo coin, and a kilo coin's a lot of money to a 16-year-old. So he wants to sell it, but he doesn't want to part with it. And he's really, really struggling with it. So he's learnt the hard way of, okay, I forked out all this money, it was a good investment. But now I don't want to sell it. Oh, no, what do I do?
Sorry, Jamie.
This is the thing, and this is what I was told a few years ago. It's like with my other collectibles, it's not worth anything unless you sell it.
Yeah.
And you know that was a wedge to help me stop, like accounting for. I'm buying this. It's worth this. And actually, it's not worth it until you get rid of it. And then there was a point where I got rid of it. It's like, oh wow, it was worth a lot. But you have to get to that point. Sometimes it doesn't seem like you ever will.
I've noticed that I swapped out at one point some old $20 notes for some of the paper ones. Yeah. And they're not in excellent condition. They're not worth anything terribly. But I'm like, I had that mental thing of I'm spending this $20 to get this because I am going to go, I'm going to hold on to it. It's a cool bit of history. I like it. And so I had that thing of, even though it is a literal swap of $20 for $20, I am spending that $20 by the fact that I'm just going to sit on it.
When did you do that?
5 years ago.
Wow. I literally did that this morning.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, really?
For a 20. But I actually got it because it was a really immaculate $20 Australian paper dollar note. But I've got them in my collection anyway, but I'm going to use this at some cafes. This is just conversation fodder, right? Because especially when you're younger kids behind the counter, they just freeze. They don't know what that is.
Well, I showed my kids some of those because I've actually got quite a few in the safe because I'm the same thing when they come through the store and that I don't send them to the bank or anything like that. They kind of go into a bucket and they kind of build up. And I pulled some of these out and I'm showing the kids and they're going, what country did that money come from? Like, Is that actual money or is that like Monopoly money, like you photocopied or something? No, this is what we used to spend. And they just, it amazes me that in one generation, the world, like this isn't a criticism, it's an observation. The world has gone, or this country, the people I hang out with, they've gone from paper money to, if it's not polymer, it's not real money. Like, how could that paper be real?
Well, there's another step in that process of, oh my goodness, it's like physical you're forgetting the next step. The polymer now in itself is almost this old school.
Yeah. I was actually going to say it must have been like my parents' era where they went from pre-decimal, like the pound, shilling and pence, to decimal currency. In that one generation. I know my father my father and mother used to raise their eyebrows when I couldn't do the calculations for pound, shilling and pence. I still can't remember how many pence in a pound and how many, all the...
16 and 12 and a half.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a pure guess. I have no
You said it with
idea.
enough confidence.
You have to be confident when you guess.
Someone will correct me in the chat. I'm absolutely sure. But I kind of get that same feeling when I reel it out to my kids and show them polymer. And I'm sure Ruben's right when my kids show their kids, look, this is what money used to look like. They're going to go, what? It was physical? What are you talking about?
How do you send that through the internet?
That's right.
Alrighty. Speaking of physical versus non-physical and all that, that leads us into the title of the stream, talking about China's change. That isn't just a proposed change or something coming up. It is happening, and it's happening today. So it's July 24th. Is the change, and they are swapping. Chinese government set as the day it will end retail paper gold trading on the Shanghai Gold Exchange. So the banks are pushing for basically no more paper contracts for gold. So everything must be physically backed. And there's a few people saying, well, hey, what's that actually going to do to the spot price, the LBMA kind of spot price? I hadn't looked at it too closely, and I know, Michael, you hadn't too much either, but we had a little bit of a look before the stream, and I wanted to get your thoughts on what was happening there.
I don't think it's going to have, in the shorter term, I don't think it's going to have a huge impact. I think it's good. Well, I think it's good because we're starting to talk physical, not just paper. And paper drives us all nuts. Paper has its place, but we've taken that way to an extreme. It's kind of like physical currency. It's got its place. It's excellent as I owe Alex $100. It's an easy way to transfer. But
I prefer the 2.5 gold pesos, though.
But it's not a store of wealth in any form, and we do that too often, much to our detriment. And it's a little bit the same with the paper contracts on gold, although I'm massively simplifying there. I noticed they're only doing it at a retail level. So that's banks to customers type of level rather than, the banks amongst themselves or the banks back to the Shanghai Exchange and things like that. So look, I don't think it's going to have too much of an impact on the price directly. But I do think it's a sign of change, which is a good thing.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm curious. I'm interested to see the eventual ripples that this will, from ripples to maybe chaos theory, to tidal waves. We'll see what's going to happen. Does remind me of the pre-Nixon gold standard. Differences also was back then it was pegged to $35 USD per ounce, whereas now it's not pegged. So I'm just very, very curious to see how this will affect everything. And I think it will have an effect, but I don't know how quickly we're going to see that.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I mean, the Chinese bank is still, or the central bank is still stacking physical.
All central banks are, yeah.
Not all of them, unfortunately.
Well, all the main ones, I would dare argue.
I would even say not
maybe
the main
actually,
ones.
You know what?
I would say I was going to say the not main ones, but I mean, you can't say China's not a main one in Russia.
Australia, see, I haven't heard much about Australia and like our central bank here.
In regards to
gold, yeah.
They lease out their gold that they've got in London, but as far as I'm aware, they don't do anything else.
Because on that note, we never hear about that, really, do we?
Well, what are we going to do? We're already gazillions of dollars in debt as a country. I would have thought the answer was to actually get your spending under control before you start allocating funds to longer term savings like.
You're applying far too much logic here, Michael.
Well, you're probably right there. But
Yeah, he's definitely not fit for Parliament.
but it's there's no use as a country. It's almost pointless us buying gold. As much as I'd like to see us have a reserve of gold, it's almost pointless because it would just increase the slide into debt. We're not able to cover our current expenses now without adding to them for, to make the scenario worse. So as much as I said, as much as I'd love to see the Reserve Bank have a reserve of precious metals, gold, silver, that type of thing, I just don't think it would do us any favours at the moment.
As Leo says, they've got a population they can tax first.
Yeah, look, that's not wrong, but you've also got to remember, we also sit on a lot. We are a very resource-rich country. We're not like Singapore or Hong Kong or Hong Kong's probably a bad example, but we're not like Singapore, or Japan, which really doesn't have any natural resources in the country, like in the ground. Whereas we are very, very resource-rich. Whether we manage those resources better, well, is a completely different discussion. But we are a resource-rich country, so in some ways, it's better that we diversify. Again, if we were doing that properly, I'd make that statement with far more confidence, and I can't because we don't. Our politicians, and I don't care which side of the aisle you're looking, our politicians...
Which side of the uni party?
Yeah. Our politicians have not been responsible with the funds and the future of this country and the population. So, adding those other things in, I think, would be more detrimental. Let's get our spending under control first.
There was some questions earlier about...
Sierra Charlie, I know you're being sarcastic, but that just makes my blood boil. It really does. I get your sentiment.
You were getting cornered a little bit, Michael, on the Kids Club thing. They say, so Michael, 2 weeks prior to your ski holiday, you said to ask you about Kids Club in 2 weeks.
And has been 2 weeks.
It's getting my blood boiling, everyone.
Can you just cut to him when he says, just leave me out of this?
Yeah, so I haven't set up all my cameras this time. I don't have a nice close-up
in the
of
new
it.
studio rooms.
Yeah,
in the
that's
new
it.
studio.
I'll have a permanent close-up one.
Honestly, nothing has happened in the last 4 weeks because I've been away and I got crook as a dog while I was away, and I've been recovering while I've been back and catching up on what I missed out on for the 2 weeks that I was away in crook. So I am literally spinning wheels at the moment. I've had no chance to do anything.
There was also another good question asking basically, hey, can I store precious metals with you guys, or is it only products that I've purchased through you that I can store with you?
Yeah, officially that is the correct answer, the second one. We do make it available to customers, obviously. It's not something that we advertise or anything along that. Well, I guess we're advertising it right now, but it's not something we openly advertise. It's more an exclusive service for our customer base. And we haven't set up to take in large numbers of product from other bullion dealers. We kind of leave that to the other bullion storage facilities that there are, and there's a number of good ones around Melbourne, but we kind of leave it up to them for now.
The other thing I wanted to highlight this week was that coin that's sitting down there in front of you, Michael, and this one was actually generously donated just for the purpose of filming and highlighting how cool it is.
Donated, hey?
Just for the purpose of highlighting how cool it is.
Thank you for your donation.
Which, as the guy who films them, I really enjoy doing. So this is Germania's Witchcraft Herbalist in the Witchcraft series. I think it's the second in the series. This is the 2 ounce antiques, and I threw together a bit of a themed video. So we'll quickly take a look at that one. thought that was very cool coin, worthy of its own video for a bit there.
The biggest problem I have with Germania, and it's a major problem and they need to fix it, is that you have to spend money on this, but you can't just get this one because it's part of a series. This is the sort of thing that sends you broke. Because they are stunning.
That one is. And what a great, I have to say, what a fantastic job Ruben has done on that video. that just stunned me.
Very much so.
But yeah, that is the problem, Michael, especially for someone with a collector's OCD like myself. Once you start a series, that's it.
It's just they just slide it in there.
Then I will get ones I don't like on occasion because it's part of the series. I need to have the complete series.
Been there, done that. Yeah. It's like when I was a kid, I bought this. Back then, believe it or not, I was into aviation as well.
What?
I bought this cheap aviation magazine one day. I can't remember. I was, killing time between mum shopping and me having to go to a music lesson or something like that. So I found this. I was in the news agency and I picked up this magazine. It was really cheap, so I bought it. And of course, it was the hook, because the next month it came out, it was a bit dearer, and then eventually, after about 3 or 4 months. And I had to have them because I needed the series, I needed to know what was happening next and the next plane that was coming out and all this sort of stuff. And that's what this is like. It's a gateway drug.
But it's a good one. It's a good one.
Yes.
No, Germania, I haven't seen that video yet, so they might have seen it now. We'll see what they think. Thoughts on storing metals in a private vault? Is it worth the money? We've kind of gone through, I can even find a link to the video, we've kind of gone through different storage methods and some of the advantages of them and disadvantages. I think mainly the biggest disadvantage we said about some of the private ones is, hey, we're a little bit nervous because of COVID and there was certain impacts on accessing your metals because of an event like that. Yeah. And also just the cost. But otherwise, you're getting it insured, you're getting it secured securely. Stored securely, and also separate from you. Yeah,
look, it depends. I mean, you're not going to pay for private storage because you've got a 1 ounce silver kangaroo. That's ridiculous. But if you're storing
MS-70,
even still, if you're if you're storing 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand. It starts to become worth it, and you've got to remember it's not just the straight cost. Yes, I could, I've got 50 grand's worth of gold, I can store it in my sock drawer, which is all well and good and nice and cheap, but what you've got to understand is it's probably not insured because your house insurance is only going to cover you for a couple of grand's worth of precious metals, and even if you list it on your house insurance, you're going to find they're going to say, well, you need to keep it in a safe. You're also exposing yourself and your family to risk. If someone finds out that you've got that in there, they will come and try and remove it. You also run the risk of, okay, no one finds out about it, but your house is randomly burgled, or anything along those sort of lines.
Or anything like that.
You lose it. So it's not just the fact that, hey, it cost me money to store it there, therefore it's a waste of money. It's also, it gives you a lot of other benefits and it reduces risk. You've got to remember, everything in life is about managing risk. And when you decrease risk in one area, you usually increase it in another area. So Ruben said with the private storage during COVID, basically all the bullion storage places shut down over COVID. So you run the risk of not being able to get hold of your product when you want it or need it. Even if you store at Bullion Now, we operate 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, 9 to 1 on Saturday. You can only access your storage during those hours. I'm not going to come in at 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning just because that's the time you want to go and pick it up. I'm not driving all the way into Melbourne. I live way out in the boondocks. So that is an increase in risk. I can't access it when I need it, so I store it at home. I've decreased one risk and expense and increased the other. The flip side of that is if I store it somewhere, I have increased my my availability risk, but decreased my, I'm going to get knocked off risk and these types of things. So, so long as you're managing that risk and you understand the risk that you've got, and you've minimised it as much as you can, then all's good. Every single situation, not only every single person, every single situation will be different. I know a few people actually that store their product at home, but when they go away, like if they're going overseas or they're going out for a holiday to Queensland or something like that, they will put it into short-term storage for, a month, 2 months, 3 months, however long they're going for. And then when they come back, they'll put it back into, pull it out of storage and go again.
Or buried in a national park.
Or buried in a national park. We've seen that done before as well.
Or as Desi says, 9 to 10 p.m. on Saturdays, sometimes if Alex is working.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I talk to people about, not in working that late every day, but in terms of diversification. It's not just in metals and in general things. It's also risk. In storage. Yeah. So I don't keep everything. I keep some things at Bullion Now. I keep some things at home. I keep some things at different families' places. And I keep some things, and people keep... not people, like some friends, like inner circle friends with each other. When we go away on holidays, guess what? Nothing stays at home. And, this is why I'm a big fan of community and, family and that network that you can trust and rely on each other to look after things for you.
You can also store overseas. You've got to look at your
that's
location risk.
That's personally my next move. But this is what I say, diversification in everything.
Yeah.
I mean, as a safety factor.
Raymond brings up a relevant point. What happens if the storage company goes broke? So, look, I can't talk specifics, but on a general level, the same as if you were renting a storage unit from Kennards or Storage King or someone like that, and that company went broke, and this is no aspersions against any storage company. But if they went broke, you don't lose your product there, like what you've got stored there. You get a phone call from the administrator saying, hey, look, we're selling the place, we're tearing the sheds down. You've got 30 days to come in and, empty your storage locker. Same sort of thing in that sort of situation as a rule. The storage company does not own your product. They only own the storage around that product. So the administrator or the liquidator cannot by law take possession of your product. They have to make it available to you. So you would get that phone call and then you'd go and pick it up.
There's a question there about 1 ounce gold buffaloes that was also been asked quite a few weeks in a row. Any chance of getting them through?
Yeah, there's a chance of getting them through. I haven't seen them on the list coming inbound in the near future. So we're probably talking more towards the end of the year.
Leah's saying there, I got to the point where I didn't feel comfortable keeping my stack at home, and that's the thing is some people will reach different points of comfort with it.
For me, that uncomfortable factor would be any time that you have enough that you would have to get insurance for it, and I just don't. Again, I don't trust. I don't know security wise who I'm talking to, who has access to that information, where that information is kept or stored. So, and again, like it might not be that much now, but let's say when he goes, when there's shows and on news pieces with people in line again, queues around the buildings, and it's all talked about, and then they go, oh, I know this guy's got heaps of gold and silver. They don't even have to do anything in their mind negative, but as it gets around, you open yourself up to potential trouble. So I don't trust that. So I would not, that's why I don't recommend even with SMSFs to keep things at home. That's just my personal thing.
I'm not comfortable with keeping anything at home.
No. And again, it could be just, even if you're not talking about robberies. So even if you're not living in Victoria, just if you're, fire, there's any types of disasters, it's too much risk to have in one place. And if it is the bulk of your retirement and something happens to it, good luck.
Yeah. Many years ago, well, 5, 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, a bit longer than that actually. Doesn't matter. So talking about unexpected risks.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
That's the one. I had a younger kid, like he would have been, kind of 18, 19 sort of age, but came in with his girlfriend with a large bag of various 1 ounce Perth Mint coins. And It was actually an interesting interaction because I spent the whole time. Silver at that stage was about $25 an ounce. So I'm spending the whole conversation trying to say, look, these are worth $25 an ounce. That's what we'd pay them out at. And he spent the whole time talking over the top of me, telling me how much he knew their value and that they were worth $1 each. And I wasn't to offer him any less than the value, because that's obviously the kookaburras and that. They have a face value of $1, except for the 1990s, which I think is $5 off the top of my head. So he was insisting that I paid him face value and no less. And I could not get a word in edgeways to say, hang on a sec. And he was obviously showing off in front of the girl that he had with her. I know everything. This guy is just going to try and rip us off, and I'm going to make sure he doesn't, sort of thing. And in the end, I gave up and just shrugged my shoulders and said, look, that's fine. I'll pay you out, what you're asking, sort of thing, just to get him out of the premises, sort of thing. And then the next, I can't remember why I'm saying this story now, but the next day, his father came in a full head of steam, accusing me of ripping off his son. Because of, the father obviously
you've only given him $1.
Yeah, the father obviously knew what it was worth because it was his collection. That's where I was going with this. This is one of the risks, a child goes through and collects the stuff and sells it on you while you're not watching, sort of thing, and doesn't get a great price for it in this example. So, yeah, the father absolutely tore shreds off me over it. And I'm trying to say, look, it wasn't me. I tried desperately to explain what was going on, and he was like so angry about it. And eventually I said, look, I don't normally do this, but I'll cut out the section of security footage and I'll let you view it. You can make the assessment for yourself. And I said, and at the end, I said, I'm happy to give you the money back, like the coins back, no problem at all. But just watch this video. And anyway, I cut it out and I showed him about 10 or 15 minutes later, and he went silent and he just walked straight out of the shop. And he came back the next day with son in tow and made the son buy all of the coins back from me at full market rate.
Wow. That's a lesson. Wow. But this is again, stressing the importance of passing on that education to your family members, right? Yeah. We made that great point, what you did when someone bought back or was trying to sell back a tube of Philharmonics silver fillies. And you're like, oh, sorry, that's only 19 silver fillies, not 20. This one's actually, is that fake? No. That's platinum. You're going to get a lot more for that. Yeah. Whereas, unbeknownst to them, they bought those 20, I believe, from someone else who then didn't realise, not from us, from someone else they bought as a tube, like secondhand. So they would have had 19. They would have paid again.
They would have paid for a tube of silver.
But they got one platinum. So that's one place that someone got done. And he came to a place that was honest and told them, no, this is actually platinum. But it comes from that lack of education. The other part is obviously with people, knowing their parents or usually their dad is squirreling stuff away and not telling everyone where he's squirreled it away, and then they pass on, and until they do a renovation and find something hidden in the wall or in the backyard, and sometimes they don't find pieces at all. So just make sure you let the loved ones know.
Yes, and there was one. I mean, it's terrible that the gentleman passed away, but a gentleman passed away not that long ago. One of our good customers, and he left very specific instructions with his stack, and so the family actually brought the box in. And I saw all the handwritten notes in there of, this is platinum. Make sure it's sold as platinum. Yeah. This is gold. And it was a really good explanation.
No copper?
There was no copper in there, but it was a really great explanation, and it was simple. It didn't go any in depth, but it was certainly enough that the family was aware that, platinum isn't silver.
Yeah.
And on there it had it was actually our website, but, go to this website and check the spot price on this page. And he actually had a screenshot of our website and he got it in there and circled the thing, and he said these don't accept less than these prices from anywhere.
Wow!
So he sent out some very basic, and it wasn't complicated. It must have taken him an hour or two, but there was very basic, clear instructions. So the family, and they said to me, "Look, we know nothing about this. This was Dad's thing." But, it was very clear as to how they could do it.
I didn't know that he did that with the website. And that's great. Yeah.
So if you're in that frame, and even if you're not, you should be, write things down, leave them very clearly where people can find them. Are we frozen, or is it just the screen up there?
No, we do appear to be. I think they can still hear us.
Okay.
Let me work on figuring that out. Having audio and video problems today, apparently. It can sense that we're looking at moving to a new studio.
So the studio is upset.
I just don't like the picture of me up there, but that's okay. But yeah, leave some fairly clear instructions. Keep them simple. Keep them very simple. And give them some direction. This gentleman, like I said, fortunately or unfortunately, he actually had a list of 3 bullion dealers go to, and thankfully we're at the top, but he said, these are the 3. If one of them doesn't exist, or you can't find them or anything, these are alternatives for you. So it was probably about an A4 page of instructions, but it wasn't tiny writing or anything. It was very clearly set out. It was done really, really well, I thought. So have a think about it. You don't have to do it all today, but over the next few weeks and months, maybe just have a think about it with your stack. And just write a few instructions down, because you never know. One day, you might get hit by the proverbial bus, and the next person's got to try and deal with it. And the last thing you want, and I can give you story after story after story, and this one still breaks me actually, of the little old lady that was coming in with her daughter, and when they just happened to walk in. Was it the daughter or son? I'm trying to remember now. Anyway, it said, I think we should try somewhere else and let's just see what they offer. They'd already sold half the collection of gold, and they'd been getting about 50% of spot because it was old gold, and it was not in brand new condition and all this sort of stuff. And
we did a video on that recently as well, going through the fact that it is sometimes even worth more.
Yeah. So It happens. If it happens once, it's far too frequently, but it happens far too often where people they don't know, and they haven't been left instructions, and the world can be tough out there, and they get taken to town on it, and it's not good.
I really want to create either a small book or like a printout sticker or something like that can go in the safe that just has those list of instructions. I mean, someone said there they keep a Bullion Now business card there to kind of do a similar thing, so at least they know, kind of like leaving an electrician's magnet up on the fridge. It's like, oh yeah, that's who I should probably call in the event of an emergency. Yeah. But yeah, I'd love to have some of those basics just written down that someone can just look at without. Yeah,
I'm writing on my list of jobs.
This is what, Aaron, I keep all my invoices with the stack and have written notes on all regarding limited editions and where to sell. So that's pretty cool. You just have to do something. And the best thing I find as well is that education. If you can just share earlier, and especially if you have children, and get them involved in it. And I know talking to so many customers, their kids are not interested at all. But you do what you can when you can.
Yeah, Mel the monster there. So curious what happens if you hold unallocated and pass away suddenly. What do the beneficiaries do? So this is exactly the same whether you've got unallocated with us or anyone else, or whether you've got stuff in storage. You need to produce evidence that you can act on behalf of the estate. So what we usually ask for is a copy of the death certificate and a letter from the solicitor who's administering the estate to say that, yes, this person's passed away and we're acting on behalf, or, Bill Smith is acting on behalf of the estate. And at that point, we're now under instruction from the estate, and we will follow those instructions to liquidate or whatever is required at that point.
There was a comment there from finance saying I'm going to have to put a link to our live stream and the outbound payment procedure. But there was also, on the topic of unallocated, someone had emailed through, and this is a question we get fairly regularly, but they emailed through and said, is there any plans to allow individual accounts to display for the account holder how much unallocated metals are being held by weight and value, asking for a friend?
Plans, yes. Dates, not yet. So we're actually just starting those conversations. So people will be aware that we had some, like we shut the website down for a few days at the start of the year. We did some fairly major upgrades to the systems, and that was to set us up to be in a position eventually. There's a lot of other things that we've wanted to do, but one of the upgrades that has allowed is that we will be able to do this in the not too distant future.
Other thing, I've had a few people ask already, so I was going to mention it today, so I'll just jump in now. There is a Stackers meet up this Sunday. A lot of you that have asked to be notified have been notified. So it starts at 1 p.m. and it goes till 4 p.m. So you can buy, sell, trade. There's an auction there, and just meet a whole bunch of fellow stackers. So that's this Sunday, 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. I'll just put if you haven't been to one of these before, I'll put my email in the chat and you can let me know. And just for privacy and security reasons, I'll send out the information to you direct.
Yeah, the translation of that message from finance is to approve payments.
Okay, I'm going to multitask. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm going to be trying to do two things at once.
That's all right. I thought this could be a good time for us to play a game we haven't played in a few weeks. There's been some excellent submissions for our Where in the World is Our Bullion Now bag. Yeah, sorry. You can just look up, and quickly see if you can guess. But yeah, our viewers are from all over the world, and they take our Bullion Now bags to some pretty insane places. And there's been some good ones. There's still a few still in backlog, so apologies if you sent one through, but you can send them through to live@bullionnow.com.au. Got the email there. And yeah, let's run the theme.
Where in the world is that Bullion Now bag? Where could it be? Can you guess? Let's see.
Alrighty, so first up, we actually had this one delivered physically to us, and I've had to scan them back in. We've gone old school, Michael. But these ones here in a very snowy location. And I feel like you two are both excluded from guessing, because I think you may have seen the note that came with it that said where this is from. No.
This wasn't not this one. Not this one.
Not this one specifically?
No.
Okay, well you're allowed to guess then. It's not Nepal. McDuncan has got it. It is the Matterhorn in Switzerland.
Wow, I was just about not to guess that.
I would say, well, maybe I'm just fat, but the iconically for me, the Toblerone mountain, until it had to be changed because it was more being produced in Slovakia than Switzerland, and it didn't meet, so they turned it into a generic mountain. But the Toblerone mountain. So very cool to see it make it all the way up there. No, Desi, it wasn't Mount Dandenong.
But I can see how you'd make the mistake.
That's it. This one was a bit interesting. I'm not. I don't think. I don't know. I'll put it up and see what people think. I don't think it's necessarily famous enough of an object that many people would know. But I thought it was.
I know this one.
Yeah, because I shouldn't.
I still know it.
Yeah. But this one was interesting. Got a bit of a story behind it, which I'll briefly go into after the guesses. But still a cool spot. The bag is hiding down on the sign on the right if you were hunting for it.
Yes.
Only guess of Switzerland so far. So yeah, no one leaping on this one like the Matterhorn.
I have no clue.
Does it give off a particular country's vibe or?
Oh yeah.
Got a guess of France, New Orleans. No, it's snuck through. So yeah, this is a bit of fascinating fact for everyone then. This is the Silver Queen. in Virginia City, Nevada, in the US.
There you go.
It's a 15-foot artwork made in 1958, made of 3,261 genuine US dollars, silver dollars, representing the 3,261-foot depth of one of the famous mines. So yeah, it's got over 2,500 ounces of silver in it, and yeah, they said they thought it was a fitting place to have a Bullion Now bag. So a very cool one there. Yeah, it does give off that kind of Ripley's Believe It or Not kind of a spot, but very cool. Onto this one, and I've got a bit of a close up and then a zoom out on both of these ones. So I'm not necessarily expecting anyone to get it from the first, but we'll see. Maybe the sign will be recognizable enough.
Is it Broken Hill?
I was going to say Valhalla.
It's not. We are on a mountain. If that helps, I'm not going to get too much more specific than that. Vaughan straight in with it. Kilimanjaro. The tallest.
That was close.
It's a Broken Hill. The tallest mountain in Africa. So that's come on. I mean, some of the places these bags end up, I get wowed every single week.
That is amazing.
And there's another one that I think is just an absolutely insane place for it to have ended up.
Not only have they taken the bag, that's a BN.
That is a BN bar.
BN bar. Wow.
That is a BN bar.
That is commitment.
Wow. That's in Cairo. That one.
That is.
Yep. I recognise the dirt.
Is it the pyramids? Is it?
That is the pyramids.
Yep.
Oh,
That is my best and quickest guess ever.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Few
that
people
is
jumping on that
amazing.
one.
Where these bags go, unbelievable.
It is so cool. So thank you to everyone who thinks to pack a Bullion Now bag before they travel somewhere on holiday or for work or whatever it might be. Yeah, we love to see it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
thank you very much.
And I think that all started because someone sent us in a bag
In Greenland.
in Greenland.
Or was it Greenland? Was
It was
it?
Greenland was the first ever one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't think it'd take off, no pun intended. I didn't think it'd take off like this. Like it's
Wow.
yeah, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
McDuncan wants to know how you spotted Cairo from that, Alex.
The brickwork.
It's the sand, the color of the sand. I have
Coarse
no
and
idea.
rough.
I have no idea. I just saw the small back, and I thought, oh, pyramids, and then it fit the scene of.
Oh, mate, it was the azimuth of the sun, the way the shadows fell.
Yeah, the way the sun was cast on the Bullion Now bag on the ground.
right.
Screamed Cairo to me.
Oh dear, good fun.
Very cool. And excitingly, I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but Alex came up with a concept for another segment for next week. So stay tuned.
And I've got stuff for it as well. So.
Are we going to talk about it, or
No,
are we just going to hint
That's
at
it.
it?
That's
Okay.
it.
Are we going to look at those other things you had?
Yeah, I had. Let's have
What else has he got? I don't know what else he has.
No, this was.
Oh, I thought that was for next week.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's other ones for next week too. This is an interesting buyback that I brought in. The gentleman had a few bits and pieces. However, this was unique amongst them, and this is one of the. I haven't got a. Have you got a glove?
There's two, just there.
Oh, great throw and even better catch.
No,
For
you're a
something
natural.
that light. So this is a very early British Britannia coin. And Michael, it weighs a full ounce, does it not?
It does not.
Of silver.
Ah, that's a different statement.
Yeah, so it actually looks pretty cool. It's different to the regular.
You haven't told him what it is yet.
It's a.
Can you give me a
it's
year, Alex, and I can.
Britannia from
2012.
2000. I was going to say 2012, but 2012.
I
Works as
stand
well.
corrected.
Completely different year.
Yeah. So it's got an odd weight because it's got the right amount of silver, but it's not pure silver.
It's kind of like the gold
The
Krugerrand.
Krugerrand or the American Eagle.
Yeah, where they've got a correct ounce in the purity, like in that metal impurity, but it's actually not a pure form of it, so it weighs that slight bit more.
Yeah, so I kept this outside of the outside of the shop. I didn't want to get it mixed up with anything else. But yeah, there were 20 of these came through, and I've never seen them. I've heard about them, and people have sometimes mentioned it, but never seen anything like that.
The thing I like and don't like about this, and you can see it, that's actually a good grab there, Rubes.
That's great.
So you can see on the right-hand side there, or from the top reading around to the right, it says 1 ounce fine silver. It never, I'm not expecting you to get it, mate, but on either side, it never actually gives you the purity of it. So you don't, like, if you look at that and you pick it up, you just assume that that's an ounce of silver. And it is an ounce of silver, but if you put it on scales, you're going to find it weighs 35, I think it's 35.5 grams, and an ounce is 31.1035. So, you know, there's nothing that indicates. So when people get these, they go, oh, hang on, the weight's wrong. It looks wrong. It feels wrong. Something's wrong with it. And it's because the purity is 95.8%. There you go. Being typical POMs, no disrespect, well, slight disrespect intended.
No, slight poke in the ribs.
Yeah, that's right. My wife being a POM as well, I rub this in frequently. You know, they've got to be different. So they didn't go for, you know, the standard, like the gold sovereign is 91 point, hang on, Rubes, what is it, 91.7% percent pure. No, they go for something completely random instead of the 22 carat type line. And I know silver's not measured in carat, or purity's not measured in carat, but they've gone for this 95.8 because it's got 4.2% copper in it. And that's the way they did them back then. They were designed, the copper gives it strength, so if they ever go into circulation, but they never went into circulation. Now, the 2012 is an interesting year, and do you know why?
Because that's when the world was meant to end.
I don't know about that one.
Well, maybe it has. Maybe this is all
the Mayan calendar,
we just did a Matrix.
Yeah, that's it.
No, 2012 was the last year they did it. They actually saw sense, and they went to the 3/9. I'm sorry, my asthma's taking me out.
It's a bit hard to cut away from you when you're the one talking on the topic.
Britannia coin in 2013, Michael?
That's correct.
All right.
So they went to the 3/9 after that. They saw the light. But yeah, so it's quite a significant year in that it's the last of the impure Britannias.
Yeah. The first time I saw one, it did take me for a ride. I was like, wait, have I got some fake Britannias? And I had to kind of do that deep dive into it. The other reason I like them is they're also a great highlight. And the Kangaroo kind of has a similar thing. The 2015s we highlighted the other week. Yeah. But it really shows the progression in the technology, you know, looking at the difference between their security features and stuff like that, that kind of texturing in the background, the trident look that they've got, and just the overall quality of the stamp, even in what I would say is a relatively shorter period of time.
Yeah.
And the 999 that you see before the fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Which was missing from the earlier ones.
So I like the comparison of those as well to see how much better they've gotten.
Having said that, I love can you flip it back up again for a second?
Yep.
You know, you're saying you're looking at the differences between the two. What fascinates me is the similarities between the two. Like the design is still, yes, they've done all these updates to it to make it, you know, more secure and all this sort of stuff, but the design is actually the same. There's still like the flag on the shield, or the St. George's Cross and that sort of stuff. The gown that she's wearing, like the way it's billowing out, the same ripple lines are there. The same way it falls off her body is still there. The same trident is still there, and the grip that she's holding, the same kind of face, although it's crisper in the new one. You know, like considering what they could have done with the new technology and the way they could have revamped it, the fact that it looks the same in the design between that, you know, 14, 15 years difference is actually what amazes me.
Yeah, and I just love with the new ones, I love the rippling security feature background.
Yeah.
I remember in 2020, you know, I bought my first Britannia, and it was just so cool. And then you know, 2020, 2021, you know, when they changed something remember
Was it 21 they brought the Trident in?
Yeah, they
like the
did
extra
a-
security
yeah,
features. It was
they did a
either
refresh.
21 or
I
22.
just still remember seeing it in hand. It was just so beautiful. Look, this is nice. Don't get me wrong, but that background, that security feature, and that ripple is just great.
Yeah, I think they're great.
Yeah.
A couple of people said, are they for sale? Look, they probably are. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've only got one tube of them though. Is the problem? So there's only, and it's not actually a Britannia tube. It's actually a US Eagle. Isn't it, something you said?
It says US Eagle 41mm, 20. So because they had 20, they probably just kept it in there. But I don't know. Did the old ones come in the Britannia tubes of 25?
Honestly,
I really don't
actually
know.
can't remember the tube that they used
I've
to
never
come
seen
in.
again. This is the first time I've seen these come through, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
The Nathan on the bottom is for Philip Nathan, who did the refresh of the design. Just for those who are asking there.
So beautiful coin. Yeah, they're for sale. Do I dare say send a
No. This is I said so many times to Michael. I've said please show things on live stream, but you have to have an avenue of actually directing people where to sell, because with something like this, a 1 ounce silver coin, there's going to be lots of people interested.
Coin 2012.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not signing yourself up for it, are
Yeah.
you? Madman.
I did it. I asked for it. And look, there's 20. It's the first 20 that go. Just whoever emails me
Limited
first.
one per customer.
Yeah, one per customer. And if there's still any by next week, I'll just put it up for if anyone else wants to collect it.
So share the
one
love.
yeah, absolutely. So there's 20 to go around. So first 20 emails I'll get.
And
if
what
you
the
want
heck?
one.
Let's do them at spot.
Oh, all right.
Hey.
Spot. There you go.
There you go. The spot special for live stream. There you go. This is what happens when I haven't had lunch and I'm
There's
just.
over 300 people watching. There's a chance that Alex gets about 300 emails.
I'll probably get. Well,
Now
there'll be-
remember, only
there'll be
the
2,000 that
No,
watch
no,
it
no,
over the
wait, wait,
weekend
wait.
as well.
Please, only the first 20 email me, all right?
I would carefully suggest that if you're watching this not live, it's probably not worth emailing in.
It's all right. No, this is a good thing, because the crazier this is for Alex, he'll go, yeah, okay, I'm with Ruben now. You have to have a plan on how better to sell these before we highlight them. This is good. I'm sorry, Alex. I'm sorry it has to come with a cost
Look,
of...
I'm still jumping on that grenade because, from one collector to all other collectors, there's your chance to get something you don't see normally.
They are very cool. And I'm
They're
glad we can
incredibly
highlight
cool.
them.
And it's just as well that Alex has still got that new employee enthusiasm. He's not burnt out and crusty like Ruben and I.
If I was watching, if the roles were reversed and I was watching and I saw this, I'd love to have a chance to buy it. So I'm just doing for you what I'd like you to do for me. If it was
Good
reversed.
stuff, Alex. And Michael for the deal on them as well.
I just got a message to say that our web server's just melted down.
Tim says they made a couple by mistake in full Cooper nickel that are selling for a fortune.
They did.
Okay, yeah.
Wow. Gee, that was a while ago too. I'm getting old. These conversations just make me feel old at the end of the day. All right, what do we got next, Rubes? Because we're running up to 4 o'clock.
Well, I was going to say, I think that needs to be starting to be it. We need to...
While we start with the rapid fire, I just want to...
Yes, I think Michael has paid Perth Mint.
I just want to do a big shout out to two young stackers, Stefan and George, who have sponsored our coffees today, Michael.
Oh, seriously?
Yes.
Ah,
So,
thank you.
Thank you very much, Vala Puno. And we really appreciate it.
Incredibly generous.
Well, you're now
Thank you very
taking
much.
sponsorship deals now.
Well, yeah. We've always steered away from it, but in this case, absolutely.
Look, I'm never going to insult anyone by saying, no, I will not accept your tip. So, feel free to ask anytime. But they said kindly, this is for, thanks. They enjoyed the show. Kids enjoyed the show, and that's for our coffees. So
Alex
thank
can
you.
be very cheaply bought for a coffee, and it doesn't even have to be today's coffee.
It doesn't, but it has to be good quality coffee, and that's what these are. Right. So, cheers.
Oh dear. And yes, I have completed all the Perth bin payments, thankfully.
Perfect. Multiple people asking there, Michael, for an update on the Tudor Beasts.
No, and I asked this week, and I never got a satisfactory answer on it.
I want to go back. I feel like it was a good 6 months ago, it feels like, that we started talking about this.
Well, I think a month ago I said I had the shipping number for them, so
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck's happened there.
Sorry, I just looked at my phone.
Ding, 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 ding.
And they're sold.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you scrolled for more than 20?
Let's have a look.
I think it would be safe to say if you haven't emailed already, he's probably hit the limit.
Look, if you're watching this live,
Yeah.
go for it. If you've not watched this live, I dare say you're out of luck.
Okay.
El Porno is correct. Those copper nickels were actually this year's. They were the error that got out.
Ah. Oh wow. And following up by Wayne, they're saying that they're selling for more than gold at auction.
It wouldn't surprise me. Look,
That's a totally different beast, though.
it is, but this is what people. I know we're meant to be doing rapid fire.
No. They said we needed to do it soon. That's all right.
People like the rarity. People like the unusual, and they like the errors and those types of things. And that's where. It's where the fun of it comes in. It's where the money comes in, and things like that. So it's not a surprise that they've gone up to that. I've got a coin at home, and I've shown it before, but not for years. I've got a $1, what they call a $1 mule. It's a 2000, as in a year 2000 $1 coin. It looks like a standard $1 coin, but on the obverse they accidentally used the 10-cent die instead of the $1 die, so it's got a thicker rim on it. And they reckon there was only about 400 of those. They went out accidentally through Burswood Casino over in Perth, and that's how they got out into the wild. It's a $1 coin, but it's worth. If you go on eBay these days, they're going for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 depending on condition. Wow! Because they're unusual, they're rare, those types of things.
Don't say that, because now people go, I'll have a look at the buybacks bucket and the dollar coins from the till, thanks.
That's right. It's like I actually keep two $2,000 coins. Let me start that again. I actually keep two $1 coins from the year 2000 next to each other. One's the mule and one's the real one, because if you look at it in isolation, it's like a lot of things. You can't actually pick the error.
I think you brought that in for show and tell once before on.
Yeah,
on
I did. It was a while ago, but
Yeah.
yeah, I did do it. So those sort of things really ignite people's imagination. And I think it's good. It gets people talking, and it gets enjoyment out of it. So yeah, okay. The Royal Mint. It sounds like I don't know a lot of detail with this one. It sounds like they screwed up, and these copper nickel ones got out into the wild. But this is great. It's great advertising for Britannia. It's great advertising for the Royal Mint. I mean, we're talking about them. They're getting free advertising on the Bullion Now channel. They didn't even sponsor a coffee for us. They're getting free advertising because of that error. So, I'm not saying they should do it every year or anything along those sort of lines, but these sort of things are what bring interest and pleasure and excitement to these type of, that can be boring.
Agoro and Germania are doing like the blind boxes and stuff like that. It's essentially the same principle,
Yeah,
except it's kind of reverse. You buy a 1 ounce silver and get copper and nickel, but it's then worth more than the silver. It's a bit more nuanced, but
yeah, I'm really sorry. I do not understand blind boxes, and we sell them through a little coin shop. But I do not understand the concept. I cannot bend my brain around it. It's got to be a millennial thing.
I think it's
No, it's not.
It's a gambling thing.
It's not. Excuse me. It's not a gambling or a millennial. It's a collector thing. All right.
I don't know what it is. I don't understand.
I can tell you now, because there's these. Like I was saying earlier, like I'm getting back into the D&D and D&Ding for. Like, again, trying to get kids off electronics and,
My kids are right into it.
Yeah,
My older kids
so
are
what
right
I'm doing
into
is like, look, back in the day, I never used miniatures. It's like, it all takes place here, ladies and gentlemen, right? But now, okay, get some miniatures, and there's these blind boxes, right, with some rarities and things. And I'm like, look, I'm going to get one just to see what it's like, because these are pre-painted, And I'm like, damn, that's cool, but I didn't get a rare. I'll just try one, two.
I'll get another one.
I'm at 7 at the moment in 2 weeks.
There's no gambling in this at all.
There's no gambling, but I'm 7 boxes in 2 weeks. I got a rare last night, so I'm like, thank God.
I can stop now.
Just wanted one.
You're like a guy in the pokies. You know, you won $1,000, but you put $4,000 through it to get the $1,000.
Michael, I won $1,000.
Yeah, that's right.
I won a red.
Dear, gambling is not a laughing matter, but dear.
McDuncan's saying his email bounced back. So, but I don't think you've still been getting plenty of emails, so I'm guessing you put it incorrectly.
Yes.
I'm not
Like
sure
I
what happened
said,
there.
the system's melted down. That's probably
Alex's
why.
email's full. Let's move on to rapid fire questions. So if you had a question that you were hanging out to ask that we missed over, or you were saving it for now, feel free to ask it now, and we will endeavour to hit them all before the end of stream.
I just popped it in again for you to try.
You're a glutton for punishment, mate.
That's it. Can you maybe get 1 ounce Tiger cast bar, please? I think they be collectible in the future.
Yeah, we had them before.
We had them.
No, we ran out of them recently, and I know because someone did a filming.
There were some ones from Frank there about PAMP products. Will we be getting any more PAMP 1 kilos in monster boxes, or PAMP gold cast bars in 50 grams? They say. I don't know if they do them.
I was going to say, I
come to
can't
mind.
think of them. They don't do an ounce cast, do they?
Well, they said
PAMP?
50 grams, so I immediately think the Fortuna in the 50 grams.
yeah, no, the PAMP do a cast bar in, well, I certainly do it in 100 grams.
cast bar.
I'm sure they do it. I think they do it in 50, but they,
Oh, no, yeah, of course.
I don't think they do it in a 1 ounce, which is where my brain went.
I haven't
we are
seen
getting
one.
some more PAMP in, but it won't be tomorrow. It will be again later on in the year. There's actually some, I can't talk about it yet, but there's actually some interesting things happening in that market. Some of the major overseas manufacturers and what they're doing for the Australian market, and we'll talk about that in the future.
Are we getting the Scottsdale Buffalo Girl silver 1 ounce?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Have we got a release date on the final Legendary Warrior?
My brother-in-law's calling.
Probably best not to answer and say, "Hi, you're live on the Bullion Now
Yeah,
stream."
no, not with Mick. It's likely to get an earful.
You'll hear. It'll be Morse code. The stream will be Morse code.
Oh dear.
I think it's Attila the Hun is the.
I
the
don't
final
know.
in the
I know that
series.
we've discussed placing the order, but I actually don't know when we're expecting arrival.
Michael, what are your thoughts on the Coke round? Coca-Cola, just to specify.
I actually really like them. I think they're great.
Update on the Perth Mint tour. The entries are closed. The names have been drawn from the hat, but still need to actually then put together sending out the tickets or whatever. But names have been picked. Thoughts on the price? Have we bottomed, or should I stop buying?
I think I think we are reaching for the bottom now. I don't think it's. Famous last words. I don't think it's got much further to fall, if any. We certainly saw an uptick this week. I know today's a down day, but most of this week has been a fairly strong uptick. Yes, it absolutely depends on what happens in the Middle East, particularly this weekend. It seems to be on the edge of a bit of a powder keg at the moment.
And with China.
And with China and with Russia, Ukraine as well. But I think we're in the bottom part of the channel, and I think we're going to see it tracking upwards in the not too distant future. But it could kick around here upwards and downwards. It could kick around here for quite a while before it actually does do that in the near future. I believe personally, this is not financial advice, that we are at a bottom. And I kind of think that for platinum as well. Somebody asked the question earlier on. The ratio is right down. It's actually it's probably one of the lowest I've ever seen on the platinum silver ratio and platinum gold ratio. So, I'm cautiously increasing my buying. Very cautiously, but I am cautiously increasing my buying. I think this weekend could be a bit of a turning point too, one way or the other.
Put it this way. I'm buying either today or tomorrow.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Aaron says, I would like to see a separate listing for the Tiger bars.
I would
just
too.
The locally produced, yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
Can you borrow against physical bullion in the same way you can borrow against property, or do you still have to sell it to access its value?
No, you can borrow against it. We've not gone down that road. I would like to one day. when I get spare time, when I've done the kids program and the other stuff that I've committed to, I'd like to do that. There are a couple of places around that you can do it, but it's extortionate. You're paying anything up to about 3% per month on the money that you borrow, and they usually only lend to about 50% of its value. So at the moment, I would consider it to be usury rates, and I would like to see that change. And I think Bullion Now could actually be part of that. But I've just got to get the time, capacity, and the legal advice to actually get that in place. So, a couple of years' time, hopefully we'll be able to do that sort of stuff and have it more along the lines of property. Because let's face it, I mean, it probably shouldn't get the same interest rates as property, but it certainly shouldn't be 3% per month. That's pretty high stuff.
Why do you guys say you have heaps of stuff on the live stream, but they're never online?
Yeah. Time.
Okay, first of all, in my defense, I only said I have 20, and that's it. All right, I don't know what else we're talking about.
Look, we do. I mean, we have stock coming through flat out. We are still dealing with some pre-orders, and I'm embarrassed to say it, but we're still having to grind through some from a month or two ago. It's craziness. So even though we're getting lots of X product in, it's quite often it's already pre-sold and it's out the door. We're pre-selling stuff. We're not even advertising as up for pre-sale at the moment. It's frustrating me. So we do have lots coming in. We are endeavouring. Adzi and I had a conversation just before, or not long before we came on live stream, about getting more listed up there. We're hoping to start getting more and more up on the website. We are very conscious that it's not good enough at the moment.
Apparently, Matt pulled quite a rare X-Men from one of the gold chance draws, so done well there.
Oh, nice. I've got to watch that. Yeah.
Jamie says, how many sovereigns would it take to secure that Tiger Kilo?
My son, unfortunately, it must be a genetic fault, doesn't like sovereigns.
What?
Yeah, I know. Like I said, there must be something gone screw with his DNA there.
I have the 5 ounce, 10 ounce and kilo Germania copper. Next up, I'll get them in silver, then gold. That's the way to do it.
Absolutely.
Pamp Coca-Cola USA, 1 ounce silver round. Thoughts?
I like it. I like it as a coin. It's simple. It's clean.
Yep, I like it.
Very susceptible to fingerprints. So be aware of that one because it's such a mirrored finish. But I like it. I think it's a good coin, a good round.
Kilo coin stands.
Yeah, one day I'll find someone that does a decent one.
How does bullion leasing work? I'm going to have to remind you of rapid fire, I think, for that one.
Somebody's got silver or gold that they want to sit on, they don't want to sell, but they want to earn a return out of it, so they lease it to someone. The other person might be a manufacturer or something along those sort of lines where they don't, creation and development of a product might take months. So they don't want to tie up all that capital for many, many, many months while they get it organised. They know there's a market for it. So they will borrow the gold from you. They will lease the gold from you at a rate. It means they can manufacture their product, sell the product, and then once it's sold, they can either return the cash to you or they can return the physical product back to you plus a percentage for the pleasure of actually borrowing your bullion for X period of time, whether it be days, weeks, or months. Not tended to be done on a retail level. Usually done more, the funds, the super funds, that sort of thing will have them, and the refineries will borrow it. We'll lease it out from them.
No, Michael hasn't been down to Tasmania yet, so no update on Hobart. Why?
I was going to ask that.
Why does Australia not make rounds like the USA does?
We do.
We do. There's been a few kicking around over the last few years, but
yeah, you got to also remember the US market is far. When I say far larger, it is humongously larger than the Australian market.
Humongously far larger.
Yeah. So there's so many more manufacturers over there. There's so many more people buying. There's so many. So if 20% of all the refineries in the States produced a round, that would be 50 times the Australian market. So, it's far larger over there than it is in Australia. So we still bat pretty well over here, though, for rounds.
All right, fess up. Who did it? Someone either emailed or called through asking about those Brits because Sylvia's asking me about them. We said clearly email Alex. We put the email.
I put it in 3 times that email, by the way.
That's
3
it.
times. So.
Come on. What's happening at the Perth Mint on the 31st? Any hints you can share before the big reveal?
None at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, we can't share too much or we might not be able to go over on our trip in September. Someone else really hoping we can get those Buffalo girls through. What do you think about gold ducats? Buybacks had a couple recently.
Love
They
them.
should be melted.
No, don't listen to them. My first inheritance. That was, they're great. I love them. Great history.
They are
Beautiful coins. And pretty decent price as well if you get the 1 ducat instead of the 4. The 4's pretty cool. It's quite large. The 4 reminds me of Pirate Treasure. That's what the 4 does, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
But there's always a perverse pleasure in melting them because of the expression on Alex's face.
It's a good enough reason to do anything. Does copper attract customs duty?
Everything attracts customs.
Yeah, I was going to
duty.
say, find something that doesn't. McDuncan guessing that it's you taking over as the owner of the Perth Mint on the 31st. Ali, also, please get more 5-gram gold bars. Going through. Has Campbell gotten any bullion after last week's stream?
Yes. He's. I'm trying to sell him a half-ounce copper coin from Germania Mint. Beautiful coin.
That's not bullion.
It's bullion type.
Esque.
Bullion-esque.
Pakenham Christmas Barbecue 2026.
Dunno. Just trying to breathe at the moment.
Borrowing against unallocated would be cool.
Yeah.
We still need to get people actually being able to view it first before we can look at stuff like that.
That's right.
Can you imagine if we didn't, but you borrow again? That would, yeah.
Can Alex buy before the US market closes in the morning so that I can get some cheaper silver on the weekend?
No, I said it's 0900. I'm going to buy it.
We're going to swap to Alex just for a second so Michael can recover a bit.
Hello, everyone.
I can see you've already responded there to the rhodium. Someone saying they've bought their first half grain of rhodium.
Yeah, wow. Okay,
from
welcome to the
eBay.
Grain Club. You'd love that, Rubes, wouldn't you?
Some shock that Michael's son wasn't keen in sovereigns.
Yeah. I'm still shocked. That's why I'm a bit out of it. So.
Yeah.
That's why Michael can't breathe.
That's right. I'm still recovering.
Where do you see platinum spot price at the moment?
At the moment,
Well, at the moment,
exactly where it is.
That's right.
couple of jokesters.
Yeah, sorry. I do think we are near the bottom, like Michael said earlier. With that, although myself, I've been looking more at recently more at gold, then silver, then platinum. But I think I'm getting Yaz in my head. The only way is up, ladies and gentlemen.
Look,
That's a tunes for the weekend, by the way.
I'm going to hijack rapid fire just for something different. Yeah. I get hung up on spot price. We all get hung up on spot price, but this is a far longer segment, and I'm not going to do it justice right now. But you absolutely need to be aware of spot price. I'm not trying to say that you just buy at any price, but there's a degree that you've got to actually look at. Spot price holds a place, but you're actually buying insurance for the future. You don't go and stress about you try and get the cheapest car insurance you can, but you don't stress about, is it going to go down a bit tomorrow? Is it going to go up a bit tomorrow? Is it going to, you go, well, I need the car insurance, and hopefully I don't ever need to claim on it, but I need to buy it. So I'm going to buy it, and if it's, they run a special of 5% cheaper tomorrow, well, it is what it is because I need to drive today. You need to protect your hard-earned currency today. So, you can look at it and you hunt around, and maybe, like I said before, I'm increasing the amount of buying that I'm doing at the moment. But I no matter what happens, I'm still buying because I want to protect my cash. I want to protect my purchasing power, not tomorrow, not the day after, not next week, not next month, but next decade and next generation and those types of things. So if it gets cheaper tomorrow, well, you shrug your shoulders. Everyone likes to buy at the bottom, but you can't do that all the time. But if you can get that consistent buying in, don't ignore the spot price, but ignore the spot price. Get that regular buying in there so you are ensuring your future moving forward. The number of I wish sometimes people could spend time on our side of the counter, because the number of people I meet that they bought this 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, and it was a struggle and the price went down after I bought it, and I wondered for 2 years if I'd done the right thing, but now they're liquidating, and it's like they've paid $1,000, $2,000 an ounce for it, and everyone's saying to you, "Oh, aren't you a genius?" But at the time, it took a huge leap of faith, and the price went down after they bought it, but later on, they insured their purchasing price. They insured their retirement. I shared a story very recently about a couple who'd bought it, and he passed away very recently, but before he passed away, he'd been buying gold from me and silver, kind of at the start of COVID. Before he passed away a few months ago, the increase in value in it, the protection of his purchasing power meant that he knew that he could actually buy a unit for his wife. So he died knowing that he'd looked after his wife and that she was safe and cared for moving into the future. So it's that type of thing that you've got to start focusing on. And I'm not trying to get the touchy-feely side here. I'm actually trying to get down to the raw nuts and bolts of this, of stop focusing on the day-to-day movements and look at in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, in 50 years' time, when your grandkids come to sell this, whatever the scenario is, you're not going to care about those daily machinations.
Just going to make sure they don't sell it for $1.
Absolutely. But it's that you've got to start moving your focus towards. So don't get hung up on, is the US going to invade Iran this weekend? And is that going to do, drop the spot price by $100 an ounce for gold or whatever it is? Start going, well, I've got this money and I want to protect it and I want to save it for my kids or my grandkids or my retirement or, 5 years down the track or 50 years down the track and those sort of things. Because I think the one thing I can guarantee you is that if you put it in the bank, if you keep it in cash, you are guaranteed to lose somewhere between 2 and 5% every year, because it's called inflation and it's baked in. And the government openly admits that they're trying to target taking 2% of your savings every year, 2 to 3% every single year. And at the moment, it's running at about 4.5%. But they're actively telling you, we want to take 2 to 3% of your savings every year, every single year. So in 50 years' time, no matter what, you're going to have a heck of a lot less. I'm old enough to know that now. I've got enough grey hairs. I've seen it happen over the last 40 to 50 years, and I know where I want to be for the next 40 or 50 years. And if I buy something and it drops by $100, I'm going to shrug my shoulders. Yeah, I'm going to go, oh, blast, I should have waited 24 hours. But I'm still going to love it, and I'm still going to really appreciate this in the years to come. Back to rapid fire. Sorry about that.
And it will appreciate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or is expected, not financial advice.
And I know that I'm not going to sell the majority of my stack, that my kids or my grandkids or someone like that is. And that's great. And they're not going to care that spot price went down $2 the day after I bought it.
If I wanted to change my gold bars for gold coins, can I do that and pay the difference?
Yes. You would just sell them back, and then you keep the cash or in credit, and then just pay the difference on a new coin.
Yep.
Idea: Big M's Picks section of the website with Michael's moldy bars / buybacks with character.
I like it.
You won't last. There'll be nothing there much of the time as soon as it comes in.
Have the 1 ounce silver dragons arrived in stock yet?
Not that I've seen.
I haven't seen them.
Is the Perth Mint government owned, private, or a mixture of both?
Well, it's currently government owned, but let's see at the end of the month.
Spoilers.
Will the Brumby coin still be produced if there's no longer any more wild Brumbies?
Yeah, it's called a commemorative.
I was going to say, I think
it's called marketing.
Yeah. Some questions there. Will platinum ever be more than gold again?
I don't know.
I don't care.
Will it ever? Ever is a very long time.
Yeah,
Ever
that's
is a
true.
very long time. Civilizations rise and fall in ever. So
Yeah. Like I said, I don't care. I do care. But I think platinum is undervalued when you look at the supply-demand ratio and where the supply comes from and what the future is bringing, openly bringing. So everyone knows I'm a bit of a platinum bull. So I'm not going to try and convince anyone, but I will encourage you to do your own research.
Are we planning to get the Geiger silver square bar in?
Yes.
That'd be cool. Sorry, there's a gap in questions here because
of my rant.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
Any Britannia coin 1 ounce gold Royal Mint Britannia?
Very soon.
Brits. That'll be cool. That's
the technical
term. How is the US silver shipment selling?
It's actually there's a stack of 100-ounce bars in there, and 100-ounce bars, while popular, they don't race out the door. So I strongly suspect that a good chunk of the 100-ounce bars will actually get melted, turned into something else. But pretty much everything else is.
It's going very good rate.
Almost
There's just a lot of it. I have to stop you there. I'm still surprised. Pause on that rapid fire quiz.
Well, I think
we're
I
really
think that's
struggling
the
with
end.
this one this time.
That's the end of rapid fire.
Okay,
we're
cool.
ending it there.
I'm always surprised at how I would expect 100-ounce bars to be even more popular than they are, but they're not. People will buy, say, 4 kilos or 5 kilos or 6 kilos or 10 kilos, but I won't buy as many equivalent of a cheaper priced 100-ounce bar, even though we'll pay full spot on a 100-ounce bar.
There's not enough difference in price per ounce between a kilo bar and a 100-ounce bar. I would rather, so me speaking personally, I would rather have the extra optionality of having 3 kilo bars rather than 100-ounce bar that I have to sell. I can break up the kilo bars. Obviously, I can sell one at a time. Also,
we don't talk about them as much is the other thing.
We absolutely
we don't bring them into the discussion at the counter as often.
Yeah, and look, we always say that the kilo bar is the sweet spot. You can go larger and it becomes fractionally cheaper, but the kilo is the sweet spot. When you go below that, it becomes far more expensive. My other argument would be a kilo bar is a lot easier to handle than a 3.1, 3.2 kilo bar. So I would say functionality. It's not worth the cheaper
you're
rate.
right. I just don't know my own strength, Michael, because it's very light for me, picking up 100 ounces. Because I'm not a fan of the 5 kilos. I'm not a fan of. I don't like the size. I don't like the weight. That's what I find.
They're a bit over proportion.
The 100-ounce, especially the Perth Mint ones, the flatter, longer pieces. I just love them. Yeah.
Look, I like some of these US ones that have arrived.
And sorry, one note on that. What I was saying is more so for super funds, because even in super funds,
Super funds are a different kettle of fish.
Then we are 100-ounce bars. And don't get me wrong, super funds do buy 100-ounce bars, but in 100-ounce bars. But in comparison to how many super funds, self-managed super funds buy kilo bars, kilos kill it. Even though when you sell back, it's full spot, full spot.
But you've got to look at it. Like Perth Mint do not produce a 100-ounce bar. They only produce the kilo bar. So
have they stopped with 100-ounce?
Years ago.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah.
So it won't shock me if they don't bring them back. But if you're an Australian, and I'm not speaking to the international market here, because internationally you've got other options. But in Australia, if you want a reasonably priced premium 100-ounce bar, there really isn't one that exists. I think ABC will get. I'll probably get a nasty gram from them now because they do produce a very nice 100-ounce bar. But if you want a government-issued 100-ounce bar, there really isn't one produced in Australia. We're importing it from overseas. I can buy a kilo Perth Mint cheaper than I can a 100-ounce Pamp bar or something along those sort of lines. So I'd say there's a lot of disincentives in Australia to stack the 100-ounce bar. You're going to go second-hand if you do. So that is one of the reasons. And like I said, the other reason is it's clunky. It's, a kilo is easier to handle than a 3 kilo bar is. It's the same as milk. More 1 and 2 litre bottles of milk are sold than 3 litre bottles because 3 litre bottles are a pain in the neck.
even
because they're
though
clunky.
it's technically the cheaper way of doing it.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised that kilo bars are that way. I'm not surprised. Part of it is bias on our behalf. We promote kilo bars, as Ruben said, a heck of a lot more than the 100-ounce bars. But I think they're just more practical. And for the extra few cents that you're going to save going to a 100-ounce bar, personally, I would go the kilo pretty much every time.
Yeah, because, and again, this is more so I'm talking about SMSFs, right? And with the buybacks as well, you know. Look,
SMSFs are different. So self-managed super funds, for those that don't know what I'm talking about there. And look, self-managed super funds tend to buy and sell larger amounts. You know, we have private retail customers will come in and they will buy a 1 kilo or they'll buy a 100-ounce bar. You know, they'll be spending, you know, that $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever amount they're currently spending. When they want to liquidate it, they usually want to liquidate it a kilo at a time, you know, a couple of grand, that sort of thing, maybe even 10 ounce at a time. They tend to have less needs for the funds. With super funds, they tend to buy in bigger chunks and they tend to sell in bigger chunks. They don't usually have this requirement to, I just need a couple of grand. Yeah, okay, they've got to pay the audit fees and that every year, but usually it's I'm selling 50 grand's worth or 100 grand's worth or 150 grand's worth, or I'm buying, you know.
I've seen that many times, going from, if it's bullion within bullion, like from silver to gold or vice versa, or out of this into crypto or property or something. But definitely larger chunks.
They're selling a chunk because they're paying the deposit on a property, or they're buying a full property. So self-managed super funds quite often deal in that 50 grand or greater transaction size. Absolutely, we do smaller transactions with self-managed super funds, but you know, literally just prior to walking onto live stream, I did a deal with a self-managed super fund for $250,000. That's normal stuff. So they do, and they actually bought 1,000-ounce bars. So,
sorry, I thought you were going to say copper.
No. They bought 1,000-ounce bars because for them, they're saying, well, why would I muck around with kilo bars when I'm selling it? I'm going to sell the whole stack in one hit.
And they're not keeping it at home.
That's right.
Yeah.
So give me the cheapest hunk of metal that you can. I just want exposure to the physical metal. Yeah. So, and they were spending $250,000. So it's like, well, the cheapest thing we've got going is 1,000-ounce bars. Yep, absolutely. I'll take 3, and away he goes.
Where is it? Kona Commuter said, my understanding is that Asia prefers 1 kilo bar. So,
I would say everyone prefers kilo bars.
Yeah.
Europe does as well, and so does the States.
And this one, you have to sell the whole thing 3 times 1 kilos, only sell what you need, not everything. But I can make that same that's true, but I can make the same argument, why buy a kilo when you can buy 10 ounces?
Because the premium difference is much higher.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. But and in a personal, I totally agree with you in a personal sense. But again, for that self-managed super fund, go the bigger.
If you're doing it's a good idea to have some smaller chunks in your SMSF, but as a rule, go the cheapest bang that you can go in a self-managed super fund.
Yes, Earth Alliance. I think people have realized that if they ask a complex enough question and then let the question stack up, it means the stream can just keep going. we'll sit here for
it's 4:25. I didn't realize.
Yeah, what's that? Earth Alliance. Anyone else enjoying the Michael and Alex show as opposed to rapid fire?
This is what happens in the shop, in the back room. We'll get on a topic and we'll run, and then somebody will go, like, Brett will come out in the back room with a full head of steam going, do you guys realise we got a shop full of people? Oh, sorry, I forgot we were serving. We'll get back out there again.
Yeah, they've forgotten the cameras were here. Just a chat at this point.
We just launch in. Sorry about that.
and not sorry at the same time.
People are aware of it at this point. It's not like it's a... Yeah. But no, if Michael was to suddenly start talking about planes, it's not like anyone's going to be going, hang on a minute, what's this?
On that note, thank you for tuning in.
That's right. We need to wrap this up. Alex is right. Thank you very much, as we say every week. And thank you for... I've forgotten who did it, but... Thank you for the coffees, or the hot chocolates in my case. Incredibly, very much appreciated.
It was an almond mocha, and it was a hot chocolate from Stefan and George.
Yeah, so a huge shout out to those guys. Thanks for that. But especially thanks to everyone that tunes into these things, because you guys are what you're the Bullion Now family. You are the reason we do this. And you guys, whether you're watching it right now live and you're participating or whether you watch it in 10 years' time, it's still all part of that Bullion Now family. And we absolutely, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't do this. And we'd have to have these discussions in the back room just amongst ourselves instead of everyone else.
As El Porno says, chewing the lettuce leaves with Michael and Alex.
Yeah, that's right. That's quite clever.
Yeah, for those that get, anyway.
So huge thank you to Alex and Ruben for putting up with me for another week yet again. We will be back next week, and hopefully between Ruben and I and Alex, we'll actually get some education videos and some unboxings, and we'll have some more information on Pakenham, and we'll go sliding out of next week on a high note.
And a new segment or two.
Absolutely. So tune in next week. Come into store if you're in town. Send us an email. Or send Alex an email requesting Britannia's, or give us a ring, and we will gladly do what we can for you. There you go, mate.
Great weekend.
We're gonna have a great weekend.
See ya.
See ya.